Did you ever imagine that having sex could quietly take a deeper toll on your body as you age? For many older men, intimacy feels different, not just emotionally, but physically too. The aftereffects often linger in quiet ways no one mentions, and sometimes the true cost only becomes clear when it's too late. This video isn't about judging older adults for craving connection. Quite the opposite. In fact, staying sexually active later in life can be remarkably beneficial. But like everything else, what your body managed in your 40s or 50s may come with new side effects in your 70s. And while younger people might rebound easily after a passionate night, many older men are left dealing with fatigue, discomfort, or even regret, without fully grasping why. So today, we're going to uncover 6 hidden truths doctors wish older men understood before getting into bed. These are the real consequences that come with aging, hormone changes, circulation shifts, and emotional dynamics. And how they affect intimacy. But don't worry, this isn't a lecture. We'll explore it all with respect, insight, and a little honest humor. Because the more you know, the more empowered and ready you'll feel. Not just for sex, but for your entire well-being. If you're over 60 and still curious, this is for you. Let's begin. Secret 1: Overestimating your energy levels. One major truth older men often discover too late is that sex in later life drains more energy than expected, sometimes much more. Back in your younger years, a quick nap or a cup of coffee may have been enough to recover after a lively night. But in your 60s, 70s, and beyond, that same experience can leave you depleted for days. And it's not just about aging, it's about your heart function, circulation, muscle recovery, and brain chemistry. Everything moves a bit slower. Take Harold, for example, a 76-year-old from Illinois. He and his wife still enjoy a fulfilling intimate life. But after one seemingly great evening, he woke up feeling oddly weak, had to skip his usual morning walk, and didn't feel fully back to normal until nearly a week later. At first, he feared it might be his heart. But after seeing his doctor, the answer surprised him: his body just wasn't bouncing back like it once did. His blood pressure had dropped, his muscles were fatigued, and his nervous system needed more time to settle down. This is why many physicians caution older men not to underestimate how much energy sex demands, especially when chronic health issues, medications, or even slight dehydration are in the mix. Now here's where it turns psychological. When you don't feel like yourself for days after intimacy, it can quietly spark anxiety around sex. You may start avoiding it, not due to lack of desire, but out of quiet fear. And once fear enters the equation, your confidence fades, and your body begins linking intimacy with stress instead of satisfaction. It's a feedback loop no one expects. So if you're finding yourself more drained after sex than usual, you should be. You're not alone, and you're not broken. You're just growing older. And there's real wisdom in adjusting your rhythm. Give yourself space. Drink water, get rest, and speak openly with your partner. Because true strength at this stage isn't about powering through, it's about honoring what your body is telling you. Secret: ignoring the role of medication. Another eye-opener for many older men is how deeply their medications can affect sexual function, and not just in the obvious ways. We often hear about pills dulling desire or causing performance issues, but the real impact is more subtle and far-reaching. Common prescriptions, like blood pressure meds, antidepressants, prostate drugs, even allergy pills, can limit blood flow, reduce sensitivity, or disrupt the body's natural rhythm of arousal and release. Take Frank, a 72-year-old widower who recently re-entered the dating world after years alone. When he first tried reconnecting intimately with his new partner, things didn't go as planned. He blamed himself. He thought maybe he'd simply lost it. But once he spoke with his doctor, he learned the issue wasn't his age or mindset, it was a familiar blood pressure pill he'd been on for years. A small dosage adjustment made a big difference. There's also a mental toll. When a man feels his body isn't reacting the way it once did, he often turns inward, questioning his masculinity, his desirability, even his value. That kind of self-doubt isn't just emotional, it turns physical. Stress hormones rise, blood flow drops even further, and suddenly the problem deepens instead of improves. What makes it worse is that most men stay silent. Out of pride or embarrassment, they don't bring it up. Yet doctors can often help with something as simple as changing the dosage, adjusting the timing, or switching medications altogether. But this silence robs them of years of satisfaction and closeness. If any of this feels familiar, if you've ever felt frustrated or like you're the only one struggling, you're not. And none of this is your fault. The bravest thing you can do is speak up. Talk to your doctor. Ask questions. Because your sexual health is part of your overall health. You deserve clarity, confidence, and support, not shame and silence. If you're still watching and finding this helpful, drop a number 2 in the comments to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's a great time. Tap the bell too, so you never miss a video. Your support helps us keep making content that informs and empowers you. Now, let's continue. Secret 3, Not Understanding Emotional Intimacy. One truth many older men wish they'd learned earlier is that sex becomes less about performance and more about emotional connection. That shift isn't a flaw, it's an invitation. But too often, men don't see it coming. So when it happens, they think something's wrong, when in reality, something is just transforming. As we age, physical changes are expected. But what surprises many men is how important emotional depth becomes. It's not about being soft, it's about being honest. A quick touch or casual encounter may not spark the same thrill anymore. Instead, what truly builds desire is feeling noticed, safe, and connected. In fact, when there's emotional warmth, the body often responds more naturally too. Take Robert, age 76, who remarried after losing his first wife. In that first marriage, sex was predictable, rarely talked about, sometimes routine. But with his new partner, he discovered something fresh. Conversations. Vulnerability. Shared laughter and stories made intimacy more meaningful and pleasurable. He didn't need to perform as much as he needed to be present. But here's the challenge, many older men were raised in a time when emotional openness was discouraged. They were told to toughen up, never show weakness. So when a partner begins to seek emotional closeness, or when their own body starts asking for it, it can feel confusing or even shameful. This emotional distance can quietly destroy closeness. Some men withdraw. Others act like nothing's changed. And some just stop trying altogether. But the truth is, this chapter of life can offer the most fulfilling kind of intimacy, if you're willing to open up and lean in. Emotional intimacy doesn't mean deep therapy or romantic poetry. It means noticing each other, sharing what you feel, even if it's a little uncomfortable, and showing more patience. That's what separates routine sex from truly feeling loved. So if something feels off or you've been wondering why the spark isn't the same, maybe it's not your body at all. Maybe your heart is asking for a deeper connection. And once you allow yourself to lean into that, everything else often starts to fall into place. Secret 4, Overlooking the Role of Medication. Many older men have no idea how much their daily prescriptions affect their sex life, until the damage is done. And the biggest issue isn't the pills themselves. It's the silence around them. No one warns you that the same medications keeping you healthy might also be draining your desire. You still want to enjoy arousal, sensation, and the ability to follow through. Let's talk about blood pressure meds, some of the most commonly used after 60. Drugs like beta blockers and certain diuretics can slowly reduce blood flow. And when circulation slows down, so does everything else. Suddenly, erectile issues appear out of nowhere. Then there are antidepressants, cholesterol meds, and prostate treatments. These can throw off hormones or interfere with the nervous system in small but powerful ways. And yet, most doctors won't bring it up unless you do. And most men don't, because they feel ashamed. So the silence continues. Frustration builds. The confusion grows. George, age 81, once shared his experience in a senior men's circle. He had spent years thinking he'd lost interest in his wife. But when he finally talked to his doctor, he found out a simple medication was to blame. A small change, not even stopping it, just switching brands, brought back both his confidence and his closeness with his wife. This is something every man over 60 should hear. If your desire has faded or your body doesn't respond the way it used to, don't just accept it. Take a look at what's in your medicine cabinet. Ask your doctor the right questions. You deserve to know how these medications affect your body, including in the bedroom. Adjusting meds doesn't mean putting your health at risk. In many cases, there are better options, slight dosage changes, or new schedules that protect both your safety and your sexual function. But it all starts with being honest, with yourself and with your doctor. If you're still watching this and finding it helpful, drop a comment with the number 4 to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that now, and hit the bell so you don't miss future videos. Your support helps us keep making content that informs and inspires you. Let's keep going. Secret 5, not knowing when to rest. A lot of older men feel like they still have something to prove, especially in the bedroom. That pressure, whether from inside or from others, often leads them to ignore what their body is trying to say. Over time, that can turn into real issues, fatigue, heart rhythm problems, or even strain on the heart during or after sex. Here's the truth. Your body after 70 isn't weaker, it's different. Your stamina, your recovery, even hydration all matter more now than they did in your 40s or 50s. And sex isn't meant to be a test. It's about connection, affection, comfort, and trust. When men chase the energy they used to have, they risk hurting themselves physically and emotionally. Take Arthur, age 78. He ended up in the ER, not from a heart attack, but from low blood pressure and dehydration after sex. He hadn't eaten much that day, didn't drink enough water, and took his full dose of meds. He thought he could tough it out like before. His body disagreed. And the emotional part matters too. When recovery takes longer or performance changes, many older men feel guilt or pressure to meet expectations. That anxiety just makes things worse. Soon, both partners feel disconnected. Here's the takeaway: sex in later years isn't about speed, it's about depth. Slow down. Rest when needed. Let your body keep pace with your heart. You don't have to prove anything. Your value doesn't fade just because your tempo changes. Many older couples find that when they stop rushing and start truly tuning into each other, intimacy gets better, not worse. But it takes patience, openness, and the courage to leave behind outdated ideas about what sex should be. If you allow yourself that freedom, your body might just surprise you. And even if it doesn't act like it once did, your capacity to love, connect, and enjoy closeness can grow stronger than ever. Secret 6, ignoring emotional aftercare. Sex isn't just about the act itself. For older men, what happens afterward, the quiet, the closeness, the simple words, can matter just as much. Sadly, this part is often overlooked. Many men were raised in a time when emotions weren't shared. They were taught to get the job done and move on, no talk of feelings or needs. But as we grow older, the emotional side of intimacy becomes more important, not less. Without aftercare, a partner can be left feeling used or alone, even if the sex itself was fine. Walter, age 82, told me he always rolled over and fell asleep after sex. He thought that was normal. But one day, his partner told him she felt like a task, not a person. It stunned him. No one had ever told him that what comes after, the hand-holding, the gentle words, the closeness, is part of intimacy, too. Even if physical energy is low afterward, emotional connection can be high. That's the perfect time to bond. A laugh, a kind word, or just lying close in silence, it all builds trust. It also lowers anxiety about next time, especially if physical changes are involved. And there's more. Aftercare helps boost self-esteem. Older adults sometimes feel insecure about their aging bodies or performance. A simple "I loved being close to you" can calm those fears. It deepens the connection. Ignoring aftercare is like planting a garden but never watering it. Things dry out. But when you nurture the emotional side, even small gestures can keep love alive, and sometimes reignite desire, too. If you're still watching and this speaks to you, please comment number 6 below so I know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that button and turn on the bell so you don't miss more videos. Your support helps us keep creating meaningful content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Final thoughts. When it comes to sex and aging, there's one thing older men often wish they'd learned sooner: it's not just about performance. It's about knowing your body, honoring your partner, and staying connected with your mind and heart, every step of the way. These 6 truths aren't here to shame you. They're here to support you. They're meant to open doors to better health, deeper connection, and renewed confidence in a time of life when many feel uncertain. Everyone wants to feel desired, respected, and truly seen, no matter their age. But few are taught how intimacy changes as we grow older. That's why this conversation matters. That's why this video matters. Whether you're in a long-term relationship or walking this path solo, the more you understand about these hidden truths, the more empowered and at peace you'll feel. It's never too late to adapt. Never too late to grow. And never too late to enjoy a sex life that's meaningful, satisfying, and aligned with who you are today, not who you were years ago. And that, my friend, is the real secret no one talks about. Thank you for spending time with us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below sharing one thing you learned and how you might apply it to your own life. Your voice matters, and your words truly encourage us. If this video helped you or gave you something to think about, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support means the world to us. It keeps this channel going so we can keep offering you content that informs and uplifts. Thanks again for watching. We can't wait to see you in the next video.